What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. How is everyone doing? If you guys are over on TikTok, want to go ahead and double tap the screen. Need to go ahead and comment, interact, help get some people in here. Would appreciate it. I'm just checking to get Jaden in here. Okay. So we obviously have to talk about the shooting that happened. Unsurprisingly, MAGA tried to blame the left. Now MAGA is trying to ignore that they were in fact the ones that did it. So, what's going on, everyone? If you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, would appreciate it. Save that from Vance because that's going to be used in my court case. Appreciate it. It's going to be used in my lawsuit over that comment, actually. What's going on, everyone? Waiting on Jaden to join. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Might have a debate already. Hello?
Hi, all hail King Trump.
What the fuck? I had to hit him with the mute because I thought that was going different.
Is
this a troll?
What do you mean? Is this a troll? All hail King Trump. You got a long 4 years, baby boy. Enjoy that.
Do you have a debate?
No,
or you just come into? Okay, cool. Anyways, if you're debating, hop in the box. Listen, politics isn't a sport; it's people's lives, and that's really one of the things I hate about America is they treat it like a sport. So, we're waiting on Jaden to join. Waiting on Jaden. I don't know if he's going to join. How's everyone doing? How did everybody's weekend go? I hope you guys had a good Father's Day. We got a lot to talk about. I was waiting on Jaden because he had the, there we go. We're going to talk about the Minnesota shooting. Ow.
Hey.
What's going on, Jaden?
Well,
so I did something a little bit different this morning over on YouTube and Twitch and both YouTubes, actually.
Coming down with a cold.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sound congested.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It might also be the pollen. So I don't know.
It's probably
I look congested. Anyways, I did something a little bit different. We started it off like this, so it's going to be more like a podcast episode. Today I was just checking to see that we could get it to work right, and we can. It's going to be kind of a pain, but it's doable. So, but I think it'll work like this, where we have it, where it automatically starts up over on YouTube so people can see that we're live.
Are we taking guests today?
So there's no intermission. Yeah. So if you guys are over on TikTok, one of the things I need you guys to do is go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. Would appreciate it. I don't know what account is going to be used to go live on in the future, but yeah. One of the things that we are going to have to focus on, because I have an idea, but we need to focus on clips right now. So I have about 15. I think Josh said he has 25. Don't know if Josh is joining the morning live, but we need to get some clips so we can schedule them out on TikTok so that, can get paid for those.
All right.
Be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, but, we'll see. Harley, go ahead and hop on in the box. Today. So we got to talk about the Minnesota shooting that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a flurry of misinformation going on about that.
I have not seen, so I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen what MAGA has been saying.
Oh, I have.
What have they been doing? Because I haven't been seeing, because, I mean, it always, and you can say, like, well, not all MAGA is saying this, except it follows a narrative, right? It always does. And I pretty well guessed, you see if I'm right here, I guessed that MAGA was going to try and blame the left, try to take something that happened, a single thing, and then try to say that this person was a leftist. I don't know what they're saying now because that very clearly has been proven to be false. They're probably just regurgitating it over and over and over again.
They're insisting on it. So basically, he was a part of a 60-member advisory board, which is a bipartisan, nonpartisan committee here. And so what they do is they represent in various industries' views, not Tim Walz's views. He did not select him off of ideology or anything like that. He did not work on his campaign. That is false. He did not work in any direct capacity with Walz. They've never even met. Now, they're trying to suggest that he's a leftist, he's a radical Democrat, despite the fact that he had a manifesto with over 70 names, including Tim Walz, which he planned to unalive. So I don't know how you can make the assertion that he's both an extreme far left Democrat, but also wanted to unalive exclusively Democratic Party representatives and operatives.
It makes sense if you don't ever think about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you don't think about it, it'll make sense.
And he's also a pastor, or was a pastor. He delivered sermons attacking the gay people and trans people. And you're trying to lead me to believe that this was a Democrat, that this was somebody who votes left? No, of course not. In fact, his own roommate came out and attested to the fact that he was a conservative. He was a registered Republican. In fact, the party right now, the Republican Party out of Minnesota, is refusing to release his voter records because of that. He registered and voted in a presidential primary, but they won't tell you whether or not he voted for the Republicans in the general.
Well, I guess that kind of solves it then, right?
Yes.
That kind of answers the question. Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious he's a Republican. I don't know why they're trying to argue this. It's like they're like, it's like staring him in the face. They're like, no, he's a Republican.
He could be dressed up like the QAnon shaman, and they'd say he was a leftist.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
And the funny thing is they'll have absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
Yeah, it's funny to me.
I mean, this is part of the course. I just want to point this out. Raven, hello? Revan, what's up?
Hello, how are you?
What's going on? Can you hold on one second? I do want to point out that they do this all the time, where they try and take literally anything bad that happens, and then they try and apply it to the left. It happens all the time. They do it relentlessly, right? They even do it on January 6th. January 6th wasn't that bad, but also the left did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Right? There's no evidence. And it doesn't matter. There doesn't need to be any evidence. There is no evidence that anyone other than Republicans were at the Capitol. They still regurgitated. 2,500 arrests, not a single one a Democrat, and they still live and die on this hill. Revan, or what's up? What's going on?
What's up? I voted for Donald Trump.
Eek. Why?
Because I'm pro-life.
Trump's not.
Also,
Why?
Okay. You want to talk about that?
So Donald Trump's not pro-life?
No. In fact, he's on record for having paid for at least 8 abortions. From several mistresses.
I thought he was responsible for the Supreme Court and the overturning of Roe vs. Wade.
That alone isn't pro-life because it sends it back to the state. If you're pro-life, your MO would be to upend abortion rights in its entirety, and that doesn't do that.
And also, that law, by the way, just so we're clear, the overturning of, the overturning of Roe v. Wade has actually led to more abortions.
That's true.
Significantly more. So, like I said, he's not pro-life. Because if you were pro-life, you'd want as many fetuses to survive as possible. And that decision made that not happen.
Antithetical, even.
Mm-hmm. Revan.
Okay.
You got me, bro.
There's something
I
Revan in the brain.
I don't support him anymore.
That was easy.
Let's go. That was the easiest win of all time. Well,
I'm just trolling. I'm sorry, guys.
Alrighty.
I figured as soon as
Jaden, you were so
Appreciate
funny on
it.
Parker's Live the other night.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, guys.
You
I'll
too.
drop out.
Take care. Interestingly enough, I know that voice. I don't know who. Barb. Is Barb debating? I know that voice.
Well, that went well.
Actually, that person kind of sounds like my cousin, but also I feel like I've heard him on here before.
Wait, I
They
feel like
actually really
my
do. They really sound like my cousin.
it was
Hello,
the
Bobby.
accident. I was wrestling with my dog. Sorry.
I know you're okay. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Gotcha. Appreciate you coming in. If
Mm.
you guys, by the way, I found something out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tell you guys. Now you guys can support for the month over on TikTok if you guys want to sub to the thing. I found something out. Dean only has 250 subs, and we're halfway there. So if we stay on this account, we got to grind it out so we can say we have more subs than Dean. We have more support than Dean. I think we can do it.
That'd be nice.
I've already had more than that before. So
Yeah. There's another bit of misinformation that's gone out, and you'll hear this week, by the way, so I'm just going to let you know now. The argument has now come out that Joe Biden deployed the National Guard on his inauguration day. And first of all, no, he did not. He was not president up until that point. They're trying to argue that this is an equivalent to Donald Trump deploying the National Guard across states to quell these protests that are nonviolent. But did something maybe happen 14 days before the inauguration in 2021? Like, I don't know, some kind of an attack on the Capitol that led to an uptick in security concerns?
some kind of attempted overthrow of the government, some sort
Yeah.
of terroristic style attack just before inauguration.
I don't know, just something to keep in mind. But he did not deploy the National Guard. The mayor requested it. D.C. mayor requested it, and four different governors of various states, red and blue, offered up their troops for the heightened security risk. And that's what happened. The DOD put in that request. Secret Service is in charge of planning for security for the inauguration. They made the request, and the mayor of D.C. did. Joe Biden did not, nor did he deploy. He was not a Democrat appointed by it. In fact, I'll read to you what his roommate said. Right here. Data released, this is actually another part. Data released by the Minnesota DFL party showed that Boatler last year voted in the presidential primary election, but not as a Democrat. The Republican Party of Minnesota declined to share its presidential primary election voter data on Boatler, with the spokesman saying the party considered the data to be private under current law. That's funny. Boatler's friend and roommate David Carlson told reporters on Saturday that Boatler voted for President Donald Trump and was a, quote, strong supporter of the president, but hardly ever talked about politics lately.
Because he's ready. Why did Walz appoint a Republican? Because Democrats do and have.
And it's a reappointment.
Republicans don't.
It was a reappointment from a
Republicans don't.
2016 appointment from Mark Dayton, a Republican.
But just to point this out, like, when they go searching for names, right, they look for the most qualified, especially Democrats. Republicans don't do this.
Yeah.
Democrats go and look for the most qualified, right? Or the one that makes the most sense. So him just putting someone as there doesn't make your point. Obama appointed Pete Hegseth. Obama appointed a bunch of Republicans. There were a lot of Republicans in Obama's administration.
They don't know.
A lot of Republicans. No, they have no idea. Chuck Hagel. Chuck Hagel was in the Obama administration as the defense secretary. There was numerous. I think there was 30% were Republicans.
James Comey.
Yeah. And I don't know why they think they think in things so binary because it makes their worldview make sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is, only Republicans really have made everything political.
Mm-hmm. Because they always do.
Make. What is this?
Hmm?
Is this like this is a.
Which
is this
one?
the Sam one? Did you see
I don't
it?
see Sam now.
There was a Sam one that was like, make mass white again. I was like, well, what the fuck? Did we attract some more Yahtzees?
Probably. We tend to do that.
Oh, wait. So this is my checklist for today for those of you that are regular viewers on the show. I'm gonna work on emotes for you guys, and I need to get TikTok set up to Discord.
Wow. How was your Father's Day?
So I really, oh shit, really quick.
Oh, go ahead.
It was good.
Yeah.
1 second. It was good. It was a good Father's Day. I got to get rid of all these clips.
Oh, go ahead. Mine was decent. It was hot as hell outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Lazy Dog. But for some reason, my family decided on sitting in the outside dining area. And they made my poor 79-year-old Vietnam vet grandpa with fucking metal hips stand up and sit down for the pictures. I felt bad for him. He had just stood up, and they were like, "No, you got to sit down for this one, Grandpa." I'm like, fuck that. He's earned his right to stand.
Yeah.
Right. Food was pretty good. I
Did
highly
you
recommend.
did you go down to the protest?
Yeah, I went on Saturday. It was a local one. It's hot. I didn't stay super long, maybe 45 minutes or an hour. But yeah, it's getting crazy, especially in LA. They're trampling people with horses now. They had to disperse the crowd with tear gas. They set a curfew. It's really disproportionate. It's a super disproportionate response. And he's planning on doubling
1
down.
second.
Go ahead. Notice the shielding that's happening towards the red states, the red cities that harbor migrants.
There we go. No, I had casein all weekend. I was gonna go down with John, but unfortunately I have casein all weekend, and yeah. And I couldn't. Well, it's Father's Day, but I couldn't swap it around because of the way my schedule is gonna be for the next 2 weekends. So, are we having another protest next weekend?
Not sure.
Because I think I'll go down to Portland if that's the case. I mean, live streaming it would be great.
That'd be fun.
But going down to Portland would be nice. John went. And John went. And he had a sign and everything. I can't remember what it said. I'm going to have to think about what I would do on the way down there. But we'll have to see. So, do you let people ride your beak? Just your mom, Sean. Hold on, let's go to the channel activity here. Sean, I know you ain't talking to me looking like that. Jesus fucking Christ. Scarecrow vibes. Even your fucking hairline's running away from your face. Good fucking God. Those piano keys. I know you ain't trying to talk shit. Fuck. Those things was busted. All right, hold on. Oh shoot, I should have Twitch. Just a second. I actually did not have YouTube. That guy was scary looking, actually. Like, just aside from talking shit, that guy was actually scary looking. Okay. He was actually horrifying looking. It was funny that he's over here trying to talk shit. Oh, man. Dustin, appreciate the 10 gifted. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Dustin with the 10 gifted over on YouTube? Appreciate it, Dustin. Can we get some dubs? And Dustin for the 5 for the TC Peeps for thoughts and prayers for Minnesota. Dustin, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 over there and the 10. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? We're halfway to the gifted goal. Someone said, notice not a single sub. Notice I just had 10. Bro, bye. Okay. Anyways, appreciate it, Dustin. Thank you. We get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat. 1 second. Do we have any mods over on the short side? We're going to be moving the short live over to... by the way, if you guys watch over on YouTube Shorts, we're going to be moving on over to OK High. So I can try and monetize that channel. So for some time, if you guys want to watch the playbacks, they will be over on that channel. And they'll be live so that people can watch them because it'll allow me to get up enough views to be able to monetize it. So yeah. All I do is lie is wild. All right, let me see what we got. If we got any debates. All right, I'm gonna let this in. I got the mute. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
How old are you?
How old are you?
All right.
Okay. Hello?
Hi,
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 20.
All right, what's going on? What's your take?
I disagree with that. The background that says Republicans don't know why they support Trump.
Well, they don't.
Okay.
Because I'm a Republican and I do know why I support Trump.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Why do you support Trump?
And you can laugh at me, you could say whatever, I don't really care, but we all have our own opinions. So I support Trump
Okay.
because I support secure borders for a country just like any other country. And I support women's sports, not biological men invading women's sports. I don't support that. So that's another.
Okay, really quick.
Yeah.
There's like 20 trans people in all of high school and collegiate sports in the United States.
It doesn't matter.
Why do you? It does matter.
No, because there's.
Why do you care about this?
Because there have been cases recently and in the past where trans women have been basically beating biological women in women's sports for me.
Why does this matter? Why does this matter? Put things in the grand scheme of things. You're asking me to care about 20 people that you think have a biological advantage in youth sports. I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of youth sport, right? There's a lot of youth sports in which kids have biological advantages, right? Like you could make the argument like, oh, well, there's biological advantages between like, I don't know, 12 to 14-year-olds, right? There's very clearly. So should we like make sure that kids have gone through puberty or haven't gone through puberty before we determine what league they should put them in? No, that'd be fucking weird. Those kids have biological advantages, but put this in a larger perspective. We're on the verge of World War III.
No,
we're about to have to fight off Taiwan. No, we absolutely are. We're about to have to fight off Taiwan. We're in the midst of a major trade war that's set to cripple the globe and the global economy. We have conflicts going off around the world. We have serious socioeconomic and economic problems that are literally killing people in the United States, and you're over here saying that this is an issue?
Okay, what about the?
Do you understand how small-minded of a view that is on the world?
Honestly, that's the most.
Because you're not even the one that's being wrong. You just coalesce. Hold on. You're not even the one that's being wrong.
Okay.
Hold on a second. You're not. One second. You're not even the one that's being wrong. You've just coalesced like a handful of people's anger in the United States to attack trans people.
No, incorrect. Because the trans issue is honestly at the bottom of reasons. I mean, I want a secure border. I don't want 300,000 over missing kids at our border. Immigrant and non-immigrant kids missing at our border because we want to have wide open borders.
We don't have children missing at the border, especially not to the tune of 300,000. I'll correct that misinformation. So it's called a notice to appear, of which 300-some thousand children did not receive. I'm trying to speak to you. Stop. If you cared about that, you wouldn't be voting for a convicted rapist. Anywho, nor would you be... Just a second, please. Nor would you be supporting somebody that has that against his record when it comes to Katie Johnson. But as it relates to this issue, the topic, it has to do with notice to appear, of which 300-some thousand children did not receive that notice, and there's reasons as to why. Some sponsors may be weary of the fact that law enforcement may target them and separate them from their families, that they may be not having legal representation. Excuse me. This did not occur solely under the Biden-Harris administration. You're pointing to numbers, which you haven't read, by the way. This is just a talking point you've adopted. But those numbers come from 2019 to 2023. That eclipses both administrations, Trump and Biden.
But more so Biden-Harris.
But can you acknowledge that it is not missing kids? It's a notice to appear.
How do you know that it's not missing?
Because I've read the report.
Okay, so then what about the children that were missing?
What
You guys
children were
don't
missing?
care about. You don't guys clearly don't care about children getting trafficked.
Wait,
Because
what
of
would
our
lead you
wide
to?
open
Okay,
borders, there are cartels.
That's a straw man.
The children
Obviously, we
immigrating here
care.
that are getting missing, that are coming in without they're like they don't even know, like the border patrol didn't have, I guess, the right
Listen
to
to
ask if
yourself.
they're. What do you mean? Listen to myself.
You're not even giving specifics. You're not even
Okay,
giving
I'm
me any
trying to.
relevant
It's been a
information
couple
here. I'm
months
trying to
since
correct the information here. It is not 300K children who are being trafficked. These are people who did not receive notice to appear for immigration court hearings
So then where are the kids?
with sponsors,
And how do you know that?
various throughout.
because that is
They're
what
either with family members or with sponsors.
this
And
is
how
what
do you know that?
because
for
this
ASAP?
is what the DHS Inspector General report provided.
So then what about the kids that were, like, I forgot, was it denied DNA testing when they were crossing the border with middle-aged men that were like that? I think it was like the border patrol had asked for DNA testing and they were not allowing it. So is that all BS? Why can't we?
Who wasn't
I don't know what
allowing
you're
it?
referring to.
I'm
Can
trying
you
to.
Wait,
cite
who
something?
wasn't allowing it?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't recall exactly.
Right. So there's
It's been
a
while.
right wing talking point where they say that like a certain percentage of the people, a significant percentage, they don't actually match. Their DNAs don't match, and that's the talking point you may be referring to. And in that instance, they're actually not referring to all migrants, because they usually go like, oh, like 15% of migrants or kids aren't even being brought over by their parents. I don't remember what the number was, but basically, Border Patrol ID'd people that they weren't sure if they were familial related, and then they tested them. And then of those people, there was a higher percentage that were not those parents, those family members.
Okay, then.
But it wasn't against the entirety of the population.
Okay, but it
It
not
was
the parents.
just, or the
Not
migrant
the guardian.
population.
It was
What?
Not the guardian or parents.
Right,
So
but
then that's my.
right. So they identified. Right, so they identified what would be less than a percentage point of people and pulled those people. It's a really small. I don't know if it's exactly a percentage point. I don't remember the exact. I could have to look it up for you, but it's a smaller percentage. So like if you have 100 people come across, 2, 3, whatever, they're going to suspect aren't related, and then they would test those people.
Yeah.
And then of the tests, the Republicans are pointing to the tests and going, look at that really high number of people that are coming across here without family.
I mean, it is true.
If it's anything other than that, I don't know what you're talking
They've been showing
about.
us months prior to the election. They have been showing us exactly the numbers and everything. Unlike the Biden-Harris administration hiding everything, we don't.
They haven't hid anything.
Republicans don't support lies and fear mongering, and that's
Are
all
you kidding me?
Democrats do. Yeah.
Donald
I'm
Trump
not
has told
kidding.
over 30,000 confirmed lies in his
Okay.
first term. That's not even counting the ones he's told in between and during his second.
Can you name a couple?
That Obama wasn't born in America. That he won the 2020 election.
Was that
That
him?
windmills cause cancer and kill whales. That migrants in Springfield, Ohio are consuming cats, dogs, and geese.
They were. There was videos.
They weren't. No, they
That
weren't.
one they were.
Nope.
There was videos.
There were videos that weren't from the United States.
there wasn't.
And what they did pull were
No, there
people
wasn't.
who were American citizens working in park management.
Is that why the residents?
Oh, on
They
video.
were recording videos.
What videos?
The videos of Haitians.
There aren't any videos.
Okay, okay, you can think that. I mean,
I know that. Do you
There-
think we
Okay,
know less than you?
There aren't any videos. Okay, really quick. Let's just walk this through so we can. What did you think you saw?
in the video,
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, there was video of Haitian immigrants.
How do you know that?
There was a woman. There's a woman being arrested by the cops, correct?
No, I didn't see that. Oh, the one that was yelling. Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, that wasn't filmed in Ohio.
Okay, well, that's not the one I'm talking about.
And by the way, she's not Haitian.
She's a citizen.
She's actually an
No, I'm
American
not.
citizen.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the
Oh.
different.
Oh, which one are you talking about? So I'm gonna you tell me what you saw, and I'll walk you through the appropriate way that you should have analyzed it to make sure that it's correct. Go ahead.
Okay, I saw pictures that residents took of dead geeses and ducks on the
Okay,
beach.
park management.
Like slit, like their throats slit, like just basically unalived on the little
Okay, so hold on. Are those cats and dogs? Really quick.
cats and dogs. And I mean, that's kind of being a little
Okay, so they're not cats and dogs.
No, not cats.
Just to be clear.
I mean, not that I recall.
Awesome, cool.
No, I haven't seen cats and dogs.
Cool. All right, so now shooting geese
But I'm
or
sure
killing geese
cats
and
and
killing
dogs are
ducks is a
gonna-
problem. So
I'm
we're gonna
sure
end.
that's next.
We're gonna end. Okay, so every hunter in America, dogs and cats are next.
I'm sure that was next.
Well, why can't I say that about hunters then, that are predominantly MAGA?
That they kill cats and dogs.
Well, because if they're hunting, if they're hunters, if they're duck and geese hunters, and your conclusion is, well, then because they killed ducks and geese, then they must go for dogs and cats, right?
I mean, they're not from
Cool, awesome.
Haiti is known.
So you don't. So I just want to be clear, just before we go on, you don't have any evidence.
Americans are
just
not
want to
known
be
for
perfectly
eating
clear.
animals that are cats and dogs.
Well, neither are Haitians.
Haitians
So I
are
just want to be
actually
clear
Haitians.
here.
that.
No,
There
they're
was
not.
a Haitian
Where are you
on
getting that
TikTok
from?
literally talking about it and how it's in their
Hold on,
culture.
my
hold on.
God.
Here we go. Wait, where are you getting this? Okay, you need to stop talking. Like, really, it's getting professionally stupid at this
It's
point.
not stupid.
You listened to Stop Talking. You watched a video, so you didn't verify this information through any accredited academia or anyone. You just watched a video, which someone could have lied to you in. You watched a video that I have no idea what it is. Could be AI, could be whatever. And based on your ability to understand, what's going on with the geese incident, I don't have a lot of faith that you can add. Let's go back to the geese incident for a second, okay? So I just want to be clear. You don't have any evidence of cats and dogs.
No, not that I can remember or recall.
Okay.
Awesome. That should be the end of your fucking argument.
Okay. Then on to the
Because you don't have any
okay,
evidence.
then on to the next argument.
Okay.
No,
I'll admit
why
I'm
don't you
wrong.
take?
Let's
Hold on,
not
no,
do
stop.
that.
I'll admit
Listen for a
I'm in
second.
the wrong.
Wait, just listen. The larger problem. Hold on. The larger problem here, okay, is that you are not having any sort of realization that you are really fucking wrong. Not a little
It
wrong.
seems like I'm wrong in everything.
You're
but
really
you're
fucking.
right
Hold
in
on. Wait.
everything.
Please stop interrupting me. Thanks. You're really wrong, and you're not stopping through any of the things that we've talked about, pointed out, etc. To go shit. Maybe it's not just that I'm wrong. Maybe it's that there's something seriously wrong with my ability to reason, with my ability to look at information and find accuracy in the truth. I think that's the larger problem. Even right now, you're trying to deflect to talk about something else so you can find out something that you're right about, not figure out how did I get this wrong.
Okay, and why don't you guys do the same?
For what?
I do, literally all the
The border
time.
was open. We let in
Or was it?
millions of illegal immigrants. Why do you
Now
guys
you're
have
still
nothing-
trying to
you
deflect.
have
Why don't
nothing
you
to
take
say
some
about that.
shame?
That's the first thing I brought
Why
up.
don't you take, listen, I literally on a daily basis bring people in here to question my logic and question it myself. You are not doing that at all. There is literally no shame. Even now, you're trying to deflect to talk about what I'm doing. Even in the event that I am wrong, occasionally or half the time, even if I'm half the time I'm wrong, you're wrong all the time.
No,
Everything that you said that you came in here was
no,
wrong.
I'm not. No. I'm not.
Name a thing you were right about. Name a thing that we discussed that you were right
So
about.
the millions of illegal immigrants crossing our border, I'm incorrect about under the Biden.
We didn't talk about that.
We talked about the
Name one of the
border.
things that we called you out on. Name one of the
Cats
things that
and
we called
dogs.
you out on that
Honestly,
you
I
were
could
wrong.
care
That you were
less
right about.
Cats and dogs. That's the least of my concerns.
You weren't right about cats and dogs. The trans issue was ridiculous.
No, that's
You were
not
wrong about the
ridiculous.
fucking
That's not
85,000 missing. You were wrong about the
She said
85,000 missing
300,000.
kids. Why can you not stop and just experience shame for a minute? Why can you not do that? This is like the problem with MAGA is they have no shame about lying. You're so amped up to move on to the very next thing that you're not even trying to deal with the fact that you were wrong. If I get something catastrophically wrong, and by the way, it doesn't happen very often. But if I get something catastrophically wrong, right? Specifically when it comes to like the information that I have and whether or not I'm correct or whatever, right? You'd be wrong about a lot of things that aren't that. But when it comes to information like, oh fuck, I got that wrong. My information was wrong on it. I have a fucking moment where I go, okay, what am I doing wrong that I miss that? What do I need to do? How did I miss that? And I've done that for years. And I think it's made me better at what I do. So for you, why are you not stopping and going, have some shame here. You got it wrong. Maybe I should start rethinking some things.
Okay, and you guys should also
See, the
start
problem is-
rethinking that you think our borders should be wide open and that illegal immigrants should get
Nobody said that.
free health care.
Oh, they should.
I think that
Illegal immigrants
everybody should get health care.
I'm a daughter of immigrants, and I can assure you, if
Why
my
do you-
parents were that privileged to come in here, if they came in here illegally and got free health care, that's absolutely a disgrace to anyone that's done it the right
Wait,
way.
who is that a disgrace to, and how?
It's a disgrace to the American citizens.
Wait, but
Born
how
here
so?
and
Because
immigrated
those
here.
citizens, just a second,
Can
because
I
I'm
go to
advocating.
Netherlands and get free health
Excuse
care?
me.
No, the fuck I
Yes,
can't.
actually, you can.
No, the fuck I cannot.
Ironically enough, I mean, comparative to the United States, it's relatively free. Yes, but
But
I mean, the system
no, I
that.
cannot.
Stop
If I
interrupting,
wanna go
Rita.
and get-
Rita, please.
If I
Just a
want to go
second.
and get
Rita,
Invisalign
you
in
spoke. I'd like to
Netherlands-
respond to what you said a moment ago, okay? I'm
Okay.
advocating for a system that provides health care and services that would provide for U.S. citizens, migrants, and undocumented migrants here, okay? This would not come at the expense of anybody who came here legally or otherwise, or would it be at the expense of citizens? As it stands, migrants do not receive free health care. Migrants cannot qualify
yes,
for free
they
health
do.
care. No,
Yes,
they
they
can't. No, they
do.
don't.
Yes, they
Stop
do.
interrupting.
Andre,
Yes,
you
they do.
They do
appreciate
not
it.
qualify
Dustin,
for Medicare
appreciate
or
the
Incorrect.
Medicaid.
Incorrect.
Excuse me. They pay into systems of which they cannot benefit or receive services from. They do not receive those services. They cannot based on their status.
They do get free health care. I live in
Okay.
Chicago.
Based on what?
I have a cousin that attends
don't.
Rush Medical School, and when she was in one of her clinicals, there was a bunch of non-speaking people, not speaking English.
How do you know they were
people.
migrants? Wait, how do you
How
know
did
they
I
were
know they were
migrants?
migrants? Because it was a group of people, and it was on the papers, and she read it. I wasn't there. She read
How
it.
do you know?
How do I know
So
they
How
were
she
do you
read that they
read
were
it on
migrants.
papers?
How do I know they were illegal immigrants?
Yes.
Because
So your cousin, wait really quick. So your cousin violated HIPAA laws,
Yes.
and you just admitted to
Violated-
it in a live of 1,000 people.
violated HIPAA laws for telling me that there was illegal immigrants getting free health care and checkups at her clinic.
Yep, that's a
Yes.
that's a violation of HIPAA. Yep, that's absolutely
That
that's a
I
federal
don't
crime.
I don't think that's a violation of HIPAA, but you can assume.
Well, you
That
don't
is
think
that
is the
is
problem.
absolutely a violation of HIPAA. That is 100% a violation of HIPAA. It's crystal clear. Yeah.
Okay, then no,
I'm gonna go ahead and
actually,
gloss
so
over
then-
that for a
so then
second.
it
So
doesn't matter.
either
That's
wait,
breaking the
I just
law to give illegal immigrants free health care.
You don't know that they're undocumented.
there is no breaking of
No,
the
they
law
are
to giving immigrants
undocumented.
free
They
health
are.
care.
I live in Chicago.
Can you stop?
They were
Can
getting
you stop
free-
talking?
They were living
You're
in
obnoxious.
Stop
Free, they
talking.
were living in high-rise
God, you're
hotels for
obnoxious.
free. For free with
Oh
our.
my
with our
God! No
taxes.
way! I can't believe it. Awesome, cool. You understand,
So you
and this is
guys
why I know you don't know what the
support
fuck
that.
you're
So you
talking
guys
about.
support
Stop
that.
talking. I support it. Sure. This is what I need you to
Republicans
stop
won,
doing.
you
Okay.
guys lost. You guys
Stop
are-
talking. Stop with the crash out. God damn it. She's losing it, man. Fuck. Losing it. Oh my God. Calm down. Listen, okay? Migrants, first things first. I'm about to kick you out the lies. What's about to happen?
Yeah, hypocrite telling me
You
it's
gotta
okay
stop.
for people to
You gotta
rent
stop.
free in high-rise hotels.
Quiet you.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. This is getting obnoxious. You gotta stop. Number one, they're not. Number
They
two,
are.
the
I
migrants
witnessed-
you're talking about, stop talking, child. God. Personality of a Lima Rita, because their name's Rita. Andreu, appreciate it. Dustin, appreciate it. I'll read those in just a second. I promise right after this. Good Lord. Did she leave? I hope she crashed out. Migrants in Chicago, by the way, are not undocumented. They are very much documented.
No,
There are people awaiting hearing. Shut up, you fucking squealer.
I live
Stop
in a
talking.
sanctuary city. Are you okay?
Cool. Find me a citation. Find me a citation. You don't even know what sanctuary city means.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
It
What does it mean?
supports. It's a,
Cool, what does it mean?
basically it's an immigrant city. Like a lot of immigrants come here.
An immigrant
Nope.
city?
Like yeah, a lot of
Nope.
immigrants come here because of the laws are so laid back, nonchalant laws.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's not what a sanctuary city is.
Nope,
similar
that's
to
not what
that.
it is.
That's not what a
I'm
No.
giving
sanctuary
you the
city is.
straight definition off
You
of
want the I'll give you the definition, okay? You ready?
Go ahead.
I don't want the definition. I want her to stop for a second. I want you to stop talking. Can you find me where we were giving undocumented migrants in Chicago high-rise apartments, please?
Yeah, I can. I mean,
'Kay.
I can find. I mean, I can tell you the building.
Good. Enough talking. Enough talking. You've been interrupting me enough. I'm good. You can go find that. We'll wait.
Okay.
We'll wait. Andreu, appreciate it for the 5. Thank you. We hate Trump like you hated President Obama. However, we hate Trump because he is racist. You hated Obama because you were racist. Andreu, appreciate it for the 5. Thank you. Dustin, appreciate the 5. What business does anyone have on an individual's sexuality, gender, religion, or race? Look in the mirror. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dustin. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat?
Yeah.
I need to get a mod over on YouTube Shorts, but we're gonna move it. This guy called me a soy boy over here. Let me see. Well, good Lord, you do not look like that talking all that smack. It's crazy. Crazy behavior.
She reminds me of Allie.
Crazy behavior.
You remember her?
Oh my God. I think Allie, I would rather talk to
I'm
Allie.
back.
I think so.
I would rather talk to Allie.
I'm back.
All right, Rita.
Okay. The Inn Chicago is one of the hotels. Go look it up. Go ask ChatGPT since you guys believe in that. Like Google.
Okay, what's the name of the hotel?
never used
Hey, I need you to
The
stop.
Inn? Wait,
I need you to. Hey, you need to calm down.
I'm calmed.
Thanks.
I'm just excited to
You're
prove
not.
you wrong. I'm very excited.
How's that
Okay,
worked out for
now
you?
I'm gonna
literally
ask you a
walked
real
past
quick,
this
really
certain
quick,
hotel
really
and
quick.
saw,
Excuse me.
Like with my own
Excuse
two
me.
eyes.
Excuse me. I'm waiting to ask you a question. How do you know that they're undocumented?
How do I know? Because it was a whole hotel they shut down to house illegal immigrants inside of it. And how I know is
How do you
because
know? How do you know
because
that they're
when you tried to go
undocumented?
inside, they did not let you go inside if you didn't have whatever they needed, and they had like immigration things all around the hotel.
So
They had
how do you
immigration.
know that they're
They are
undocumented?
undocumented.
How do you know is the
My
question.
parents didn't get that
How do
treatment
you
when
know?
they came to the U.S. Like, what are you saying?
You gotta shut the
Nobody
fuck up. I'm about
came
done
here
with your
legally
childish.
got
Shut
that-
up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut
Shut
up.
up.
Shut up. Stop talking. Stop talking. It's absurd.
You're absurd.
If you're not gonna be, stop talking. If you're not gonna be adult enough to be in this conversation, you're gonna go. Stop unmuting yourself. Unmute yourself a fucking again. I guarantee. Go ahead. Do it again. Unmute yourself again. I fucking dare you. Awesome. You can't just say because there's immigration stuff up there, because the people being housed across various different cities are people that are awaiting asylum hearings. So how do you know that they're not either A, coming here under asylum, or TPS versus being undocumented?
It was right before election.
Crazy there hasn't been
That's
any
not what we
raids.
asked.
It was right before election.
That's not what I asked you.
Okay, my point is it was right before elections, and there was like, I don't know how to say it, like there was places literally around the hotel that are basically helping people learn English and get like their citizenship ASAP right before elections. Is that not ringing a bell?
Can you tell me, how do you know
And
that
it
they're
has been
undocumented?
proven that they get
I-
three meals
Hey.
a day
Okay.
and that they're living there rent free.
Hey,
That's
Well, they're not. But I
I'm-
just want to correct.
get out of my life. I'm done.
All right, that's
I'm
fine.
done. You can fuck right off. I'm done. I'm tired of you squealing in my fucking ear. I want to protect everybody else in here from that. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So in other words, you don't have any evidence that they were undocumented.
Nope.
I just want to put that out. No, you don't have any evidence that they were undocumented.
I sure
you looked
don't.
at them because they were people of color and went, "Oh, they're undocumented." By the way, they have hotels in certain areas. Certain places do. Usually those hotels are bought up by the city or, other federal grants, whatever. And then they're used for that purposes. They're not great, just to point out, but they're people waiting to be processed. They're people that don't have sponsors. They're people that don't have anywhere to go. Sean, appreciate it for the 5. Thank you. If they're trying to get citizenship, there's documentation. They're documented. Appreciate it. Yeah, Sean, appreciate the 5 over there. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Sean? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Raymond, you can join. I need to make a call-in number for over on YouTube because they're losing it. Trump failed. Appreciate it. Thank you. She would have a great time. God damn it. I can't read that. That's fucking crazy. I can't read that. Sean, appreciate it. Thank you. Trump failed. Appreciate the 5.
Hey, Adorna's here. A few of our friends are here.
All right. If you are debating, go ahead and hop on in the box.
You're looking for some
There's so many
debates.
people that I don't know who's debating.
Yes.
All right. Oh, whoops. I meant to. I don't think he's.
He's a
I don't think
friendly?
He's not debating. Yeah, I meant to add a Dorn, but that's okay. And it's all right. I'm just going through the. What I really need to add today is clips. I really need clips.
Was that last guess sufficient?
I don't know. I didn't take any clips of it because it was just like fuck. It was just every time I thought about it, it was just screeching.
Petito.
Hello, can you hear me?
Somewhat.
Barely.
You on Bluetooth? Oh,
Sorry.
you underwater?
Does it sound better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, low-key I was.
Are you driving?
Not really. I'm stuck in traffic. I was listening to your guys' live. I'm just gonna keep this brief because I'm not here to debate you guys. I just want to say that you guys. I would just keep it brief so you guys don't get mad at me. But thank you guys.
Like a sentence.
I appreciate you guys. I think you guys are awesome, and we need more men like you in our community, advocating for the right things. And it's been awesome listening to you guys debate. You guys are very educated, and you guys know what you're talking about, and that's awesome. So keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it. Thank
See
you.
ya.
All right.
By the way, if you guys are over on TikTok, want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. Make sure you're following me on this account, in my link tree, my bio, my other accounts, my main account, which isn't in here today. I don't know why I didn't join on it, but if you guys want to go into my link tree, my bio, you'll see my main account. Follow that because usually I go live over there. I don't know. I'm waiting on to hear back from a TikTok agency, so I don't know if I'll be on this one or if I'll be on a different one. But yeah, if you guys want to support, you can sub on here, at least for the time being. This is where I'll be. You guys can sub on here. We went up 100 and something subs in a week. You guys can support that way. We have a 20 sub goal. We have 10 done on TikTok. If you guys sub, it's 2. And it is 1 everywhere else unless you sub at a higher tier.
That's
but
right.
We have 10 out of the 20. Hey, Brooke, got you $1. Appreciate it.
Let's see who we have.
All right, let's see what we got.
After this, I want to rant about the parade.
Yeah, we got Ed. Then we're gonna find our best friend Ed.
Right. Thank you, Kate. If you guys want to support the show, keep
It
tapping
is
that
interesting.
screen.
It's a burner.
She was not right about three.
It is interesting. No, not at all. I already know what that stat is, and it's not even like you need nuance. You just need to not be a dumbass.
Yeah.
Zen, what's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, how old are you?
What's going on?
I'm 30.
All right.
All right, what are you debating?
Are y'all for Trump or against?
Take a wild guess.
Against.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then we're on the right
Got it.
page.
All right.
I'll step out.
Oh,
Good luck, guys.
Okay.
all right.
I'm only looking to
Appreciate
dog walk.
Oh, we
No.
are too.
Good shit. All
Me
right.
too.
Later.
Appreciate it. All right. I don't know that they're debating. I'm gonna clear it really quick. See if we can get some people in here. What I'm really looking for, like I said, is clips.
Yes,
'Cause I
content.
have an idea. I have an idea to save the channel. It's just gonna take a minute.
Yeah.
So I gotta get off. When I get off here, I gotta go do a shit ton of work. By the way, a shit ton. And I have baby K. And we had Father's Day yesterday. We went swimming. We went camping.
Yeah. Well, these numbers are
Fun.
good for the morning.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. If you guys want to double tap the screen over on TikTok, see if we can get up to 100K likes, and yeah, we'll keep going.
That's right.
Oh man.
About this military parade, just real quick. The Army really does seem to have lost a step. Literally. Because you see the way they were marching. Everybody's out of sync. It's disorderly. It's a clusterfuck. This is what happens when you boot gay and trans people from the military. There's no coordination. There's no style and pizzazz anymore. We used to have grit.
Really quick. Eyes, I'll give you a phone number to call into right now. You're getting awfully pompous. I'll give you a phone number to call into. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it was a big clusterfuck. It all looked terrible. Nobody seemed enthused by it. Even Trump, on his 79th year around the Earth, around the sun, didn't seem to approve of it. He was bored. Everyone was bored. The sporadic ass, flags on the shorts and flip-flops folks couldn't even muster up an applause as the tanks rolled down the street, squeaking its whatever you call those things. Not wheels. But it was a bad showing. It's embarrassing.
It was.
Yeah.
And you know that everybody that was everybody that was like MAGA, that was like, in the cabinet in the stands, had to be like, this sucks. He's gonna beat us when we get home.
Yeah. Some are saying it was a silent
Send help.
protest from the military and the way that they marched. It could be true. I don't know. But it did not go according to the plan there. Official numbers are pegging it around 8,000 to 10,000 people. I barter it's even less, but keep at it, I guess. There's $45 million down the drain. Thanks, Doge.
Yeah. Way to blow some money. Awesome. Way to. Well, they're like, we're in the party of saving money. And they're out here just trying to fucking. Yeah. But if you guys are debating, go ahead and hop in the box.
Lame. Put me in charge of the next parade. Trump's 80th birthday bash. I'll have drag queens. We'll have all sorts of crazy shit. Make it fun.
Drake.
Yeah, he got booed.
I know.
At the
It would
Kennedys,
be so much more fun.
Yeah.
It'd be so much more fun. A pride parade?
Yeah,
oh my
pride
god. Would have been way
military
better. Right, yeah. Drag queens on top of M1 Abrams? Let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
You mix a little imperialism
Listen,
with,
you-
LGBTQ. It's the
I don't
trick
know
of the
why.
trade.
Right. It's like it's like this. It's like, do you remember it used to be like a culture that used to like get raging hard-ons and then run at the other side and battle? That's intimidating. That's intense.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with drag queens. We put drag queens on top of tanks. That means fucking business.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world. They're already like, what the, you know?
Hey, it throws them off.
We could do it.
They'd be
we
too
could
busy
do it.
laughing.
Mrs. Doubtfire. General Doubtfire.
Yes.
Let's go.
We do the sneak attack while they're busy laughing. It's a perfect plan. Well, I'm in charge. now.
Anyways, if you guys want to support the channel, there is a Venmo Cash App in the bio. You guys can join the Patreon and the link tree in the bio. Sub on any one of the platforms. Sub over on YouTube or Twitch. Patreon's a great place to sub if you guys want to watch the nighttime playbacks. You guys can sub over here on TikTok, which is 2 subs. And if you guys want to debate, go ahead and hop on in the box. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be over here. There's 2 things. One, I don't know where this live is going to end up at. The live might go back over to my main. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Might go back over to my main. I'm not sure. It just depends because I haven't been on this account very long. So I think TikTok makes that determination about which account gets to go in. And yeah. So what else was I going to say? If you guys watch over on YouTube Shorts, I'm going to move that to a different channel. So I'm going to move it to a different channel because it's a lot easier that way. It's way easier for me to set it up. It's way easier for me to stream it. It's way easier for me to get everything going and ready. So if you guys want to still watch on the YouTube short side, the vertical format, make sure you guys go and follow me over on OK Hi. I'll update you guys in the next few months. It's in the link tree in the bio. It's the other YouTube, but OK Hi. That way I get to monetize that other YouTube channel while I'm sitting here going live for at least... Could take a month or 2. Could take a few months, but at least I have another one monetized so I can post news. So.
No, who's this?
Coos. What's up?
How's it going, guys?
Oh, the poison.
Hey.
Cusco's poison.
Poison for Cusco.
The poison for Cusco.
We have fun. What's up? How's it going?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. What's up? What's on your mind?
Doing all right.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about, I think, why a lot of Republicans support Donald Trump.
Have at it.
So I think I have maybe a bit of a unique perspective on this. I voted for Trump in 2016. 2020, I didn't vote. 2024, I voted for Kamala Harris. And I grew up, I was raised in a very conservative household. My father was very conservative, watched InfoWars all the time.
Christ.
You know,
Yikes.
he was a veteran. I myself am a veteran. At 18, I joined the Marine Corps. And I just think that, I don't know, I think it started in 2016. I think 2016, the election really changed sort of the entire, the entire kind of landscape of politics in America. And I think in 2016, I was sort of swept up. I was in the military at that point. I was in the Marines, and I had associated Hillary Clinton with what my father told me. I had always just associated her with Benghazi. So to me, and to a lot of people in the military, that was sort of the selling point for Donald Trump was, well, Hillary Clinton, Benghazi, and obviously we weren't super educated on it at that point. And I think that specifically, I can't speak to other branches of the military, but I can speak to the Marine Corps. It's very much sort of an echo chamber where conservatism has always sort of been pushed in this because there's sort of this stigma and this association with conservatives willing to spend more for the military budget. And so you kind of get this echo chamber in which, a lot of people are radicalized and turned, into the right wing. And I think a key point for that would be probably the Second Amendment. Many people own firearms in the military. And obviously, I think a lot of conservatives vote specifically. I don't know. I would say that a lot of conservatives vote almost entirely based off of the Second Amendment.
Some of them
So
do.
yeah, I mean, I would just love to hear what you guys think, but that's kind of my perspective on it.
Well, you're not wrong about the single issue voters, especially as it relates to conservatives. Usually it's something in the form of abortion rights or lack thereof, gun rights, things of that nature. And that tends to be it many of the times. But it's sort of and I have seen this as far as the echo chamber that you speak of, this idea that's been perpetuated for some time now that conservatives and Republicans are the party of the military. They're not. And I would say even further that their lack of restraint when it comes to international conflict, when it comes to the wars that they've started and the bombs dropped under Republican administration versus Democrats, would show that there isn't a great deal of interest for preserving life, that there isn't a great deal of interest for expanding veterans' rights and access to care. That simply doesn't exist. They point to, these tuppence that they do every now and then, but long run, there really isn't that deal of interest for protecting military families, military rights, and civilians abroad. So maybe there's disagreements there, I don't know, but I've never really seen that to be the case. They argue in favor of veterans' rights and in favor of the military and things like that, but their policies would point in a different direction.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too because the military really recruits out of poor areas, and their ability to, like, I was recruited out of a poor area. I dropped out of high school, eventually went back and got my diploma late, but dropped out with a 1.7 GPA. I mean, bad. And so I didn't have many options, and the military had kind of run in my family. So I kind of knew from a young age that I was going to join the military. And I think it's interesting that they're able to take people from these situations and sort of almost convert them into, this right-wing pipeline,
Machines.
if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
I've considered it grooming, to be honest with you. And maybe you and I can relate on this. In high school, there were recruiters that came to the school, and they'd have a pull-up bar and things like that, and would test out how beefy you were, how strong you were, how ready you were to fight. And I think that's grooming behavior. I think if you're propping somebody up and positioning them in a manner that suits your benefits and not theirs, and they're not able to make that decision as to whether or not that's good for them, I think that's coercive. I think it's grooming. I think it's terrible. And
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
right. They do prey on students, children, really, who are of a lower socioeconomic status and who are not doing very well in school. That's
yeah.
always been the case.
And I won't sit here and say that I think that the military is all negative. You know, I think that there are certainly positives to the military. I am now graduated with a bachelor's in science. I'm getting ready to go to grad school here, and this is all paid for by the military.
We're gonna have a debate.
Yeah, that's great.
But you know, there are certainly negatives that I think impact sort of culturally the identity of especially impressionable young men. I think, and it's strange because the military is such a melting pot of different cultures. I had friends when I was in the Marines that were from Kansas in the middle of nowhere, and I also had friends from Compton. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that it's strange to see that this melting pot of cultures. There's definitely prevalent racism in the military for sure,
Oh yeah.
misogyny, and all the negative things. But I think it's strange that the more you read about American history, and the more you read about um, let me explain it like this, right? I'd been raised. I'd always been socially liberal, right? The typical libertarian. I'm socially liberal, fiscally conservative, right?
I got you.
And I had never cared about gay marriage or abortion. I had always been pro-choice, pro legalization of marijuana, all that. But then I got out and I went to college and I started learning American history and economics and things like that. And I started to realize, wait a second, trickle down economics, Republican economics, it doesn't work. So then I kind of had this come to Jesus moment of like, well, if I don't believe in Republican economics,
I think I got a debate.
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been, socially liberal, am I just a liberal? Period. And that's ended up how I became, left leaning. But
I got you.
I don't know. I
Well,
think it's
yeah. Hey,
interesting. I think there's
you're
this
on the right path. I'll
radicalization.
tell you that, and especially since you're pursuing education opportunities here. But we've got a debate. We're gonna get to that. But thanks for coming in here. Okay. All right.
Appreciate it. Just gonna see if we can get this person in here. Sorry, I'm trying to find my clips over on YouTube.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
Shabby, just chilling here. Hey, so I know that y'all were just talking about the military, and I also am that literally just got out 3 months ago, and y'all were talking about how the military, correct me if I'm wrong, targets like poor income families, that kind of deal, to get them into the military.
It does.
Okay. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree with that, but I don't necessarily, I can understand how that can be seen as like a bad thing. But for me, the way I grew up is I mainly joined because I was broke and I didn't know what to do with my life. I wanted to go to college, but I couldn't afford it. And the military offered me that. So it's like a double-edged sword, I guess I would say, in my eyes. Like, yes, it targets lower income individuals, so it can be perceived as a bad thing. But at the same time, it takes those
Dustin,
lower income
appreciate it. Wells,
individuals
appreciate it. I'll read those in
and
just
gives
a
them
second. I'm
these
sorry.
benefits and the sense of pride and the sense of belonging and brothers and sisters that they would have never had without it.
I'm not denying that there are perks to being in the military. I have military family members. My grandfather's a Vietnam veteran. My older brother's was a part of the National Guard. There are
Okay.
certainly benefits that come with that, and I
Yeah.
totally recognize that. I
Okay.
fundamentally don't agree with the premise that one should have to risk their life and subject themselves to terrible things happening to their mental health and physical well-being for the sake of getting those advantages in life. I think that should just be a guaranteed by virtue of you being a citizen. That you should not have to undergo such a rigorous process in order to have health care, in order to have schooling.
One sec. I'm a hop back in here. I'm getting a phone call from work.
No problem.
1 second here.
You're good. 1 second. Where was it? Where was it? Dustin, appreciate the 10 gifted. Dustin, can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Dustin with the 10 gifted over on YouTube? Dustin, appreciate it. Thank you. Dustin, appreciate the $2. Hold on.
Gesundheit.
Dustin, appreciate the 2 for you, dude. Close your eyes. Greater than 20 subs. Appreciate it, Dustin, for the 2. And then Wells, appreciate it for the 2. General RuPaul. Bob the drag queen got to be in it too. I actually started watching Traders with the girlfriend, and it's a good show. Good show. Dustin, appreciate it for the 10. Thank you. Wells, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you guys. But yeah, I did start watching Traders with my girlfriend, and Bob the drag queen is in it.
That's right. He's got a new book out. Harry.
Catherine, hello.
Live. Pretty good. Oh, Catherine, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
What's going on? You opposition? You debating? What's happening? We do have a hat goal over here, by the way, if you want. Yes, go ahead.
I'm a little confused as to why people don't understand why we voted for Trump. I mean, he's
because your reasons make no
everybody
sense.
voted for him. You want me to list my reasons?
By all means, Catherine.
Okay. First, he had a great economy his first term.
He inherited
I
it.
want that back. I do want lower gas. I want lower taxes. Second,
You're not getting that.
I'm ready
Take gas is
for
up.
our border to be closed tightly, and for every illegal, especially the ones that have come in the last 5 years, to be gone. Did I come from immigrants? I'm not sure. My
All
great,
right.
great, great, great uncle signed the Declaration of Independence.
That's
I'm
cool. He probably
home.
owned my
He's
family.
also the
Can I ask you
governor of
something real
Georgia.
quick? How do you how do you balance out deporting tens of millions of people and having a good economy simultaneously?
Well, first, that is such a misnomer right there. First, let me tell you, I
How?
live in the South, as you can tell. I am an attorney. My daughter is a public school education teacher in
Can I
North
do this,
Carolina.
Jaden?
And her classroom, especially in the past, well, since 2020,
Are
really.
you going to attempt to answer the question I asked?
Didn't I? Oh, I'm
Can we
sorry.
take the
What was
short
your
route?
question?
Right. So how do you balance out deporting tens of millions of people with having a good
Well,
economy?
first, I think they say about 12 to 15 million
Whatever
came
the
in
number
the
may
past
be.
4 or 5 years. So
Surely you
yes,
recognize the
deport them
fiscal
all
impact
because
that
we
plays.
have. They say we have at least 30 million illegals.
That's okay, whatever the fuck it is, 50 million, 100 million people is
Okay.
not,
So
but
yes,
whatever
our
the number it
economy
is,
was
how do you
beautiful.
balance that with
Because our economy was beautiful before the pandemic, right? That was before those 12 to 15 million came in. Am I correct? Yes. I'm
no,
also for it from a farming
unemployment was at
state.
a historic low during that same period. Not only
Exactly.
that, but consumer confidence has only dropped. What do you mean exactly? It's making my point. Consumer confidence has only dropped since Donald Trump has been president. Moody's gave us our largest downgrade since its institution 116 years ago.
Well,
This is
what
not
I'm
a sign that
saying
projects a
is
good
before
economy.
his
We are on
second,
track. We are on
bef-
track for a recession in the next quarter.
you want me to answer?
If you can,
Okay.
how do you balance out deporting tens of millions of people and having a better economy than we have now?
I'm really not sure I understand the question, except for you trying to infer that the illegals that are here are working above board on the books and paying taxes? Because they are.
Whether or not they are,
No.
they still
No, they're
contribute to the
not.
growth of our economy.
They do
Excuse
not
me.
have
They still
social security
contribute.
cards.
They have
At least they're not
ITINs.
supposed to. And they're not supposed to vote. And they're not supposed to get driver's
What is your?
licenses.
They don't vote. You're a lawyer.
Oh, yes. And believe
Oh
me.
God, no.
What type of law?
Well, I
What type of
do
law?
It's got to be traffic.
mostly probate, some tax, real estate. So I don't mess with divorce and I don't mess with criminals.
But you voted for. Never mind.
Yes,
Okay.
I did vote for Trump, and I'm also a good friend of Nikki Haley's, and she did not get my vote either. And yes, if Trump,
You're a good
if
friend of
Trump
Nikki
does two
Haley's, and she didn't get
things-
your vote.
I'm actually.
You're
a
very
personal
loyal.
friend of Nikki
You're very loyal to the criminals in your life, aren't you?
Nikki
Really
Haley's a
loyal to the
criminal.
criminals in your life is crazy.
She was
No, but Trump is.
okay. All right. Well, you want to discuss the felonies they've convicted
Actually,
him of
yes.
with an
I would actually
attorney?
like to discuss this with a
Okay.
practicing
All right,
attorney.
hold on. I want to back this up really quick.
Anyway, I listed my reasons, and
why do
you
you-
don't have to agree,
But hold on,
that's
hold on.
fine. But I can tell you one
Really-
thing: our economy is starting
Okay.
to boom, and
Why-
our border is closed. Those
Our
are
economy
two
is
main reasons.
Listen. Where are you getting evidence that our economy is booming?
Well, let me see.
What's happened? What's caused our economy?
We've had
What's happened?
13
The stock
trillion
market's
now
down.
invested. I own a lot of stock, and mine's,
I don't know what you mean 13 trillion invested. You're telling me that we've had 13 trillion invested? What are you talking
you
about?
not?
Do you think that investment? Do you really think that investment is the only thing that causes an economy to go up or
I'm
down?
trying to list a few things.
You don't think that removing federal
Can you
funds?
not
You don't think that
interrupt,
removing
Your
federal
Honor?
funds?
Your Honor, can you not interrupt?
You literally interrupted me.
No, you asked
literally
me,
interrupted me.
and I'm trying
You've
to tell
interrupted
you.
me. You've interrupted Jaden.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Even though you interrupted me.
What? I can't even remember your question now.
Christ.
Oh, wait, which question was it? We finished the illegals and the economy and
We
how.
really didn't, but okay.
We haven't finished that. I
Okay.
simply asked you what metric shows that the
okay.
economy is going up.
Inflation is down to the lowest it was in 5 years. Consumer confidence.
Okay,
is
but
off
that's
the
not a measure of the
charts.
economy.
Retail spending is
Consumer
off the
confidence.
charts.
Wait, hold
We've
on.
had
Wait, where are you
13
getting that
trillion
consumer confidence is up?
invested into this country
Hold on.
to
Hey,
bring
hey.
manufacturing.
No, we're not gonna. No, we're not steamrolling the conversation. No. She literally just fucking lied. Right here. Consumer confidence is down.
Where do you see that? That's wrong.
Consumer confidence is down since since Biden left office.
I'm sorry. That's so wrong. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Okay, well I'm pulling it up. I'll pull it
I
up.
literally make my living
I'll pull it
off of
up.
doing economic and accounting and all kind of law.
No, you don't.
Oh, I don't?
Don't fucking lie like that. Don't fucking lie like that.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yes, I received my JD degree in 1990.
We had a partial rebound in May. That doesn't mean it's up. 1 second. I'm looking up the
Look
thing.
at what it was when Biden.
Do you understand?
Up
Do you
from
under?
where?
I'm
Up from
trying to. Yeah.
2018.
I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm trying to right now.
Okay, well, whatever.
Consumer confidence in 2025 is actually the lowest point it's been since 2020. It's actually the lowest point it's been. Matter of fact, I can show you the fucking thing right now. The chart, the consumer confidence is at 95. With Biden, that was the low. That was the low with Biden. Consumer confidence index is down. It was over 100 nearly the entire time Biden was in office, except for when he took over in COVID. It went up through 2021 to reach 130.
Seriously?
It went down to reach 95.
Where
it
are
went
you
back
reading
up.
that from?
But
CNN,
under Obama,
because
literally the
CNN
conference board.
No,
just had a
MSNBC.
chart last night.
Watch this. You're a lawyer, right? You're a lawyer, right? Really quick. You're a lawyer, right? What's an original source?
Hold on. Hold on just a minute. Tell him that.
What's an original
just
source?
Just a second. My secretary's asking me for.
I don't want to hold on.
Your dog walked in?
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Was it about the consumer price index and you're wrong? Awesome, cool. Can you tell me? She ain't no fucking attorney. She fucking lying. She lying. Oh my god.
I just know.
Where'd you get that from? CNN?
She's got dozens of tin cookie jars with a shit ton of buttons and sewing supplies in her living room.
And she's a shit friend. She didn't even vote for Nikki Haley. I'm really good friends with Nikki Haley, but I didn't vote for her. By the way, the economy's headed. So I just want, because I was thinking about this weekend. The economy is headed to a really, really bad spot. Mm-hmm. And you guys can say, well, the stock market's starting to go up. Sure. I don't really think it's going to continue to go up. I think we're going to watch it flounder and trade sideways. But look at what happened in 2020 during the pandemic. The stock market crashes off of this horrific economic news, right? The stock market goes down, it crashes. Then we have all of these promises coming from the Fed and the Trump administration, and we watch the stock market. Boom. They're not going to let it collapse. It becomes a casino. Now we're in a position where Donald Trump's economic policies have rocked the ever-living hell out of the global economy. Mm-hmm. And there's no real promises for it to change. We may watch that the stock market goes up for some time because it doesn't really have a reason to collapse yet. We may watch that that's the case. I don't think so, but we don't know. The Trump administration's promises may cause it to spike and skyrocket and whatever, but we will watch as the tariffs start to affect people, as the lack of price controls by the federal government, the lack of dealing with the actual problem by the federal government and just saying deal with it will inevitably affect consumers. And right now, the problem is you have MAGA that does not think that there's an issue. They don't think there's an issue at all. So they're out there spending like, life's going on, as you have one entire side that's really not, that's really holding on to their money, or at least being way more conscious about what they're buying because we're not sure. When those two inevitably even out and MAGA realizes how bad it's about to get, we'll watch it fall off a cliff. It'll just be one day, it'll just be like, oh, okay, all the metrics are coming in bad, and boom, 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 it just keeps declining. And then you'll watch as it sort of stabilizes, and over time you'll watch companies start to drop off and fall as their money continues to not come into the degree that it was, and their revenue declines, and they're forced to do cuts, and they're forced to do all this other stuff. We'll watch as these two even out, and it's going to be bad. But it could be a year. It could be 2 years. We don't know yet. But these tariffs are not good for the economy. These tariffs are going to be pretty horrible, all things considered. We have Mason.
Okay.
We have Daniel.
Pick your poison.
Alex. I don't know if Alex is...
I
don't know if Alex is debating. But if you guys want to watch over on YouTube, the link tree in the bio... Oh, it doesn't follow me. Okay, I'm gonna clear really quick because I don't have that much time left. So I really like to get a debate in.
Yellow.
By the way, if you guys are on YouTube, we will have more debate videos coming out over there shortly.
That's right.
I've got a bunch of timestamps down, so hopefully get about a month saved up, and then we'll get them pumping out. Mason, what's up?
Hey man, how you doing today?
Doing all right yourself?
I'm doing all right. What's going on? What's your take?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to talk about your take about why Republicans don't know why to support Trump. Like, why do you
How old are
think?
you?
Because I know the reasons why I supported for Trump. So
How old are
do
you?
wanna tell me why I don't know those reasons.
Is my mic working? How old are you?
I'm 18.
When were you born?
What year were you
2005.
born?
Wrong. Well, you suck at math. Go back to school.
It's a clear indicator your math is off.
Christ.
So
20 years ago was 2005.
clear indicator.
Just shave 2 years off of that.
Hey, what's up?
Daniel, hello.
Hey, Daniel.
What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's your take?
Yeah, I just wanted to go back to the economy. Y'all are saying that a recession's really likely in the next quarter, and I disagree with that. I think it would take some drastic measures. I know the tariffs are very drastic, but I think it would have to something drastic would have to happen in order for a recession to take place in the next quarter and in 2025 in general.
Sure. I think we'll start seeing markers.
Okay.
This is my take. I think we'll start seeing markers of stuff declining, consumer confidence index, various different things, job numbers coming out. These things will start to indicate. Yeah.
Okay. And just going to like the overall theme of your debate, why I supported Trump was I knew that Trump would make a different approach to his policy settings where he would make things happen. And that's exactly what he did in the first month of his presidency. All of the executive orders that he signed, he made stuff happen. So that's one of the main things I was looking for. I will say, caveat to that, and I've been a little bit disappointed with Doge and the big bill, because Doge's point was to decrease the deficit, and the big beautiful bill is just increasing the deficit. So I was disappointed with that outcome, and kind of defeats the purpose of Doge.
Yeah. So he's been in office coming up on 6 whole months now. You say he's done things, especially within the first week or so with the executive orders, but what specifically has improved your quality of life through those initiatives?
Well, I would say that the previous administration, my quality of life, I never saw a
decline,
quality of life, or decline in quality of life, and I would say the same thing's happening now.
All right. Well, what's he gotten done?
Early still. Like an executive order can be signed, but in order to see those benefits, it all takes a little bit of time.
Sure. I mean, what prospectively can we look forward to from those executive orders? I mean, he banned trans people and pressured shower heads. So what am I looking forward to? What can we as a society, as Americans, look forward to from his executive orders?
In regards to trans people, I do think that they shouldn't be allowed to be in professional sports, so we can.
Well, this has to do with the military.
More fair competition.
That's more so what I was referring to as trans people in the military.
Oh. Dude, I don't have a stance on that, honestly.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, what do you support that he's done that has made society better in any meaningful regard?
So I support the border closure. I think that was great progress that he made.
The border's not closed.
Yeah, but illegal border crossings are significantly down.
That may be true, but they were down under Biden. They were trending down over the last year and a half. At some point,
well, they were trending down, but I think they exponentially lowered once the border was closed under the Trump administration.
Well, no, they exponentially lowered under Biden with his July executive order of last year, brought numbers down on par to what they were prior to the pandemic. Monthly averages were at a low, comparable to that, comparable to Trump's numbers.
Hold on, let me fact check you right there.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, I didn't change anything over here.
Yeah. Yeah. February 2025, over 90% drop year over year.
Those numbers haven't been substantiated by anything, but I'm talking about under Biden's administration.
CBP.gov. So that's government website.
What does it reference?
I'm saying
what
vitamin-
metrics is it going off of?
Dude, I don't know. I just.
Okay. Right. See, that's the problem that I have when people cite that stat is they just
This is
say,
from the
well,
US Customs and
I
Border
understand that, but it's partisan now. It's not bipartisan anymore.
Okay.
So, and that is how he's orchestrated the way that websites publish their information now, is that it's very much following a loyalty test. But I'm
No.
talking about as it relates to these numbers here. What exactly are they providing? Are they providing monthly averages? Are they providing a
That's year
stat?
over year. 90% drop year over year.
Okay, but based on what numbers? They haven't provided them. Simply saying 90% drop doesn't tell me anything.
I feel like it does.
Like, you understand what I'm asking for, right?
90% drop. So
Like, would they not provide monthly averages? Would they not show me how many people are being deported, how many people are being let in, how many people are being rejected or processed through? Why do those numbers not matter for referring to monthly border crossings?
dude, I'm confused. What is not?
So when you say
about
something has
dropping
dropped 90-something%,
Yeah,
they should give you
90%
some
in
numbers
illegal
to
boarding
substantiate that. Right, based on what exactly? Are they going off of monthly averages, and what
Based
are
off
the
of
monthly
the
averages?
previous years admissible.
I get that. I get that, but what years, what months are they comparing? Are they looking at December to January? Are they looking at January to February? What span of time? How many people? Under what stat?
Okay, I'm not gonna go into that right now.
Those
I
are
think
fair
that's
questions to ask,
semantic.
though, right?
I mean, but I
Because if
think
they're saying year over year,
you
fiscal year
question-
2025 isn't over yet, so they wouldn't be able to compare 2024's numbers to 2025. So I'm just
Okay.
asking, what metric are they going off of to say there's a 95% redux?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, that's all I'm
I'll leave that
asking
up to
for.
you. I'll leave that up to you to look into further.
I have. That's
Okay.
why I'm asking these questions.
Okay, you want to move on to a different topic?
If that would suit your needs, yes.
I have to go here in just a second, so I
Okay.
don't know if you guys want to finish it up. We're gonna raid Mount.
Awesome.
Run into. I got I have a ton of content to do.
So going back to the economy.
You have like 5 minutes, Tommy?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to pump out some content today. So
Okay,
has to happen. So maybe like 5 minutes.
Year to date, we're up 2.41% year to date in the S&P. I just want to ask, like, how is that a negative towards the Trump administration? Like, I understand the tariffs caused a lot of volatility, which is great, but up the S&P being up 2.4% year to date is pretty objective.
Why don't you look at it since Trump came into office?
That is year to date, bro. Essentially, pretty much.
No, that's not year to date. It's not year to date.
Okay, the past
3
year
weeks
it's
off.
11.32% up.
Which would be a lot of that under the Biden administration. Most of that. But you pointing to that, they always do this where they try and like bastardize it. Why don't you go from when Trump took office? It's down. It's down. The stock market is down. You're pointing to a single index and going, look, despite the fact that NASDAQ is down since he took office, the Dow was down since he took office. I assume that the S&P is down since he took office because they usually follow each other.
Well, okay. Obviously,
Was that right?
Okay, it's down 0.6% since January 2020.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so nearly
I'll
flat
show you the
performance. I guess we are upward trending though since the
Not
tariffs.
necessarily.
I mean, yeah.
Here's the year to date.
past 3 months were 7.2% for the S&P.
Oh, is this the SPY? Sorry, my apologies.
SPY is the same thing as S&P.
Oh, okay.
Index.
I've never seen it referred to that.
That's just a
So here's December. It's at its highest. I think it peaked a little bit higher just around Inauguration Day. Then it drops off here. It's rebounded a little bit, but it's not at its highest point.
I would say
606, 603.
We're trending positively here.
Now we are. We weren't a moment ago.
Yeah, but now we are.
So we're back now that we're going back to pre-Donald Trump's shitty tariff policy right here, right?
I agree. It was not. I agree. Economic-wise, for our stock market, it was not a good strategy.
So then can we blame him for this? Because
For
this
the
is
dip?
his.
Oh, yeah.
This is a result
yeah.
of his direct.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was not
Okay.
happy with that.
Right. And so when those tariff policies expire over the next, I don't know how many days they have left, can we expect it to continue trending up or what?
I think he's already announced that he's essentially going to extend the deadline for trade for our more important trade partners where we are sitting at the table negotiating with. So I expect that what's going to happen is for our leading trade partners, he's just going to keep extending the deadline until a deal is made. And essentially there's not going to be another dip.
Has he made any deals you can point to as being successful?
I mean, I don't know the specifics of the deals. Do you know the specifics of the deals? I know there's been deals that have made. I think the
a 55% tariff policy with China recently.
Yeah, that's. I don't even know how these are going to play out. I don't know enough about long-term tariff effects to figure out how it's going to benefit the U.S. in the long term. I think I agree with the
inflation.
Yeah, inflation's probably that's probably going to happen, but there's ways to negate inflation. And I think another good thing coming from the tariff policies is that the overall goal and the biggest reason why I supported Trump is because he was big on the not trade deficit, but the U.S.'s deficit, budget deficit.
He didn't reduce it during his term, though.
During his last term, yeah, no, I know. He actually, I thought it was very ironic because his last term, it was like the largest trade deficit ever last term, but now he's coming back and trying to decrease that trade deficit, which a large part, not trade deficit, budget deficit, which in large part was because of his last term. It increased so much. But it is important that the budget deficit decreases.
Well, you've already acknowledged that he's not doing that and didn't do that. But Daniel, we'll be live again tonight at 6 if you're available, 6 p.m. Pacific. But we got to call it here.
All right, I'll see if y'all are on next time I check. I'll try to put together my arguments a little better too.
That's fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Make sure you're following me on here, on this account up here. Make sure you guys sub. You can click and sub. Make sure you're following me though, and in the link tree in the bio are my other accounts. So it's usually I go live on the dude, but I've been live on this one for the last week and a half or so. So I'm gonna work on some stuff. I already have it written down, some emotes, and getting TikTok set up to the Discord. I've got to go. I've got to go work on some stuff. So I'll work on some clips and work on some other stuff, some content. So I will see you guys at 6 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you guys are following. This weekend, I think I'm going to go live for much of the weekend. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be a full-blown subathon, but 5 hours or so a day, maybe more. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do need a lot of, I do need maybe one of those days to do and pump out a shitload of content for my idea that I have so that we can continue to stream. We'll see if it works. I don't know. But Jaden, I will see you. We're going to raid Mel.
All right, Tommy. Let's all head over to Mel, mom of trans daughter. That's where we're going to head over. So take care, everybody. See you later.
One of my mods will pin it in the comment section. So one of my mods will pin it in the comment section. If you guys want to head over to Mel, everybody raid Mel. Everybody over on YouTube Shorts. By the way, we're going to be moving over to another account for the YouTube Shorts. And that'll be happening later this week. So maybe like a Wednesday or something. But yeah, that'll allow me to get some more content out there for you guys. So appreciate it. I'm going to head out, and I will see you guys at 6 p.m. Pacific.